This is Dr. Nate. Got a video here. Common after COVID, a lot of people are losing their sense of smell and taste. Most of the time, fortunately, you get it back. But I want to talk about what you could do to either speed up that process, or if unfortunately haven't gotten your taste and smell back, what you can do. I know there's a lot of videos online. I just Googled it. But I want to show you a little different way on how to use your brain and different cranial nerves to stimulate the repair and to turn back on your sense of smell and taste. So a little education here. Olfactory nerve, cranial nerve 1 is your smell. That's the nerve that deals with all your smell. There's parts of your parietal brain on the sides that determine whether you remember smells or what smells stimulate happy thoughts or bad thoughts. But the main one is that olfactory nerve there. And then you got the cranial nerve number 2. Those are the only two that kind of live by themselves in the brain. The rest of them are all stacked together inside your midbrain and brainstem. But there's one concept we always talk about with our patients is, a rule we live by is that nerves that live together play together, which means if we want to turn on the olfactory and some of the taste ones, we can stimulate some of the nerves that live by it, and they'll all play together and stimulate each other. So let's get into that. So first of all, the tongue here, you want to look at the different parts of the tongue and what where the sensation buds are for them. So we don't have to get too in detailed with it, but salt and sweet, front of the tongue, sour on the sides, bitter on the back, and most of the mid belly of the tongue is not used for taste at all. You want to look at these cranial nerves, especially cranial nerve 5, that does the sensation of the front 2/3 of the tongue. But more importantly, for what we're talking about here, the facial nerve does taste. So we're going to stimulate the trigeminal to turn on the facial nerve there. The other nerve is the cranial nerve 9. It's a glossopharyngeal nerve, and it does the taste for the posterior third of the tongue. So that's important too. So it's going to be the back end of the tongue there. And the front end of the tongue is all cranial nerve 7 there. The other big nerve is the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve, stimulates a lot of the muscles, a lot of the sensation in the back there. So we're going to use that vagus nerve to help turn on these sensations also. Along with the hypoglossal nerve, which is number 12, that does the big movement of most of the movements. That's the main player with the movement of the tongue there too. So remember these as we start to help stimulate them. All right, so simple tests you can do for these is, I just picked out some simple senses here. We got orange, we got lemon, we got cinnamon, we got honey, chocolate, coffee, lavender, rosemary, and garlic. I just went to the store and got some essential oils for cinnamon, lemon, and orange. The nice thing about that is we also want to get something to taste. I got cinnamon bars, I've got a pile of oranges and lemons there. So, the first thing, let's take orange. I'm going to open up orange here. So first thing you want to do to test, ideally you want to get something that's strong, something that's a pure scent. And people will sometimes just pull any essential oils out of their cabinet, and if it's some strange scent that you wouldn't even couldn't guess it if they gave you 100 tries, and that's probably not want to use that. You want to use something that your brain is familiar with, that your brain has used in the past. So what first thing you want to do is kind of cover one nostril and then take the scent and put it about arm's length away and see if you can smell it, and slowly bring it up till you start to smell it, and kind of remember that distance. If you get it all the way up into your nose and you can't smell it, then there's a loss of smell there, obviously. So, and then try the other side. Just kind of compare. Close the nostril, slowly bring it up, and see when you can start to smell it. Obviously, orange should be a familiar smell to everybody, and so that's what you want to taste. And then you want to take and taste it. And I like to put those two together. So I take the scent of the smell, bring it up. This is where it gets a little bit tougher. So you stimulate your brain to smell and taste it at the same time. This will help that. Third thing you do after you've done this a few times is slowly trying to get that smell closer and closer or further away from your nose. where you can sense it and recognize it. But what you could do afterwards is just make a cup of tea or a cup of something that has that taste to it. Orange juice, potentially, orange tea. If you're doing coffee or chocolate, you can make a cup of coffee and just kind of sip and stimulate that, the memory part of your brain with the taste and smell that. So you take and do these three things. Well, these are common things that you've probably already seen on another video. So I want to show you what you can add to this. So first of all, kind of take a second to look at this cranial nerve map. You don't need to memorize it, but I just want to show you how you can help stimulate other cranial nerves to engage at the same time, so that, like I said, when nerves live together, they play together. So you can stimulate another nerve to help with the nerve we're trying to turn on, whether it be the olfactory nerve or whether it be some of the taste nerves there for the anterior 2/3 of your tongue or your posterior 2/3 of your tongue. So cranial nerve 2, that's your optic nerve. So it's all your visual stuff. So a simple thing you could do while you're doing a scent here is put some letters on the back wall, a few feet away, and just identify the letters. So right now I'm looking at the screen, so I'm reading stacking, so S-T-A-C. And each time, I would plug one nostril and inhale, S-T-A-C-K-I-N-G. So just slowly read and get that letter identification is a simple way you can stimulate the optic nerve. Cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6 do all your eye movements. So 4 goes down, 6 goes out, and the other 3 goes up in all the other directions, in, up. Also does conversion. So what you could do is smell something, and you could do a pencil push-up, which we've talked about in the past, and watch your eyes converge. That is a way to do it. You could stimulate light in different directions. So you could stimulate a light down, trying to get cranial nerve 4, which is down below, 6, which is the side, 3, which is up. So you can use a flashlight. You can take your phone, turn on the flashlight on your phone. That'll help stimulate 3, 4, and 6. You can do the same thing while you're testing the food along that lines too. Another one we use is vibration for cranial nerve 5. We use these Z-Vibe things, which are expensive stim, but we use it for different other things. But it just vibrates. What you could use is a vibrating toothbrush and just put it in your mouth and bite down on it and smell. So slowly bring it up. So I always forget to close that other nostril, but close that nostril, get that sense in one side, and try it the other side. Oils. I haven't done a lot of these, but I looked up some oils for you, but we want to stimulate cranial nerve 10. So it innervates behind your ear here and then right up in here. So you can put oils back there to stimulate it. We also stimulate it with the vibration. So you can take and do this. So stimulate right up into the ear there. So again, it gets tough to close that nostril while you're doing it, but it's still going to work at getting that senses back into or get that smell into your nose and turn on that senses. So that's cranial nerve 10. You can stimulate that vagus nerve. Cranial nerve 11 is shrugging the shoulders. Again, easy. Taking a bite. That's cranial nerve 11. Cranial nerve 12 is a hyperglossal nerve that does the tongue. So what I find the best to do is just try to flatten your tongue up against the roof of your mouth and just push up against the roof of your mouth with your tongue while you smell the scent again. So that's how you can get cranial nerve 12 to play along with your game here. And then finally, red lens glasses are known to stimulate nerves in the body and the brain. So you can start to add all this together, put the vibration in, smell, maybe have a light coming from that way. While you're chewing on something. So you might look a little silly at work doing it, but at least you look cool with the red shades. So I think I got these just on Amazon. Just look up some red shades. We have an account at a optical company too that you have to have a doctor's license for, but I think you can get some of these on Amazon. So hopefully this helps. Try this out. The other big thing that COVID does is affects your lungs. So I have another video on how to check lung capacity, check your lung function, and then what you can do about it if your lungs aren't working. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Again, we're posting a lot of videos, so check us out on our different sites, our social media, or Facebook, or a lot of them are on our blog. Have a great day.